Welcome, friends, it's the MovieFilm Podcast. MovieFilm Podcast, enjoy the show. Zaki and Brian are talking about movies. MovieFilm Podcast on the radio.
Welcome to a MovieFilm commentary track. This is Zaki Hassan, and joining me once again is my good friend Brian Hall.
Hey, what's going on?
Brian, it's October 21st, 2015.
Wow. This is a day that's been in my brain for 26 years, is it?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. This is a date I've been aware of and thinking about for a very, very long time. And here we are.
This is it. We're here. The future is about to become the past.
Yes. Wow.
And so, of course, if you're a movie fan, and I'm assuming if you are a movie fan, that's why you're here, that's why you listen to this show, you know that date. It's the date that Marty McFly arrives in 2015 in Back to the Future Part 2. So Brian and I both decided that this was a moment we could not let pass, because once it was gone, it would be gone forever.
Unless you have a time machine, so...
Which nobody does, as far as we know.
Nope.
So... to celebrate the occasion, to mark the arrival of Marty McFly, Brian and I have decided for our third commentary track, we are going to watch Back to the Future 2, and hopefully you get to watch it along with us as we talk through what is, for both of us, one of our all-time favorite movies. So, Brian, we've done the commentary thing before. I think you're queued up on your end.
Yep.
So, at this stage, let's give the audience instructions about how to get caught up with us.
Well, if you have your DVD or Blu-ray, what we're doing is we are starting exactly at 00000. So you got to get past all those FBI disclaimers, any Universal logos that are not attached to the film. Sometimes on the Blu-ray, there's like an extra modern Universal logo. You want to get past that. And as soon as it hits black, and that's the actual film, 00000, that's where we're at. So, Zaki, you want to count us down? Tell us when to hit play?
All right, here we go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, play. And here's the classic Universal logo. This just seeing the logo brings back some memories.
Mm-hmm.
Back when Universal was an MCA company.
Yeah, that's right.
Back when MCA was a company.
MCA. Man, yeah, look at that old logo.
You know, it's interesting how Spielberg's name comes first. Spielberg's name always comes first.
Yep. Well, because Robert Zemeckis was the protege, Steven Spielberg was.
Yeah.
For Zemeckis. He produced Zemeckis' first two films, which I think were I Want to Hold Your Hand and
Used Cars.
Else. Yeah, Used Cars, that's right. So here we are, starting back at the beginning.
This is the reenactment.
Yes.
And you can tell because Michael J. Fox does look, I mean, maybe not significantly different, but he does look different from movie 1 to movie 2.
Yeah, I mean, it works, totally works. But yeah, you can tell he's a little bit older here. Hair's a little bit longer. And then, of course, we have a new Jennifer, right? That's a big deal here. Claudia Wells played Jennifer in the first Back to the Future. And for a long time, it feels like it was sort of unknown why she didn't return, but then
that's right.
Recently she said that it was because her mother was sick, and so she stopped acting for a while so she could be with her mother. So we have Elizabeth Shue, fresh off Adventures in Babysitting.
You have to wonder why Elizabeth Shue took this gig, because it's pretty thankless.
Yeah, that word exactly was what I was thinking. It's pretty thankless. And it's funny because Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale have both talked about how that was one of their biggest regrets at the end of Back to the Future 1. If they had known that they were going to make a sequel, they wouldn't have put Jennifer in the car, because then you have this big problem, where she's not involved with the adventure, but you got to figure out what to do with her.
Right. Yeah, because people always say, "Oh, you must have had the sequel planned because that's how you ended the first movie." And the response, it's funny because I mean nowadays it's like, well, of course, the trilogy is pre-planned.
Of course.
But back then, the shared universe is pre-planned, but back then it was just like, no, they're off to another adventure and we don't ever need to see it. It never occurred to them that we would actually want to see it.
Yeah, and they didn't want to make a sequel, but they knew that Universal was going to do it with or without them, so they figured, protect their baby. And I mean, I would say it's a hell of a sequel, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, it's one that's I think people were a little surprised by its darker tone when it first came out, but I think upon reflection, looking back, I mean, it's a pretty perfect sequel to this story.
Now, right here with Biff, this is where Biff goes from, mild annoyance to the big bad of the series. Is that moment right there when he says, "What the hell is going on?"
Yep. And it's funny because that kind of sets the tone for the movie. Like, this movie isn't as lighthearted of a jaunt as the first one.
Yeah.
There's more menace to this one here.
It's far darker. It goes to darker places, but I think that's why it's memorable.
Yeah. And that's what it is. It's when I say it's the perfect sequel, it's because when you make a sequel, what do you want? You want the same thing but different. You know what I mean? And very few people have figured out how to do that. And this movie does literally that. Is it goes back into the first movie, so we get to re-enjoy all the things we loved about the first film, but from a different perspective.
Sure.
So it's the same but different.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, what's never explained actually. This is presumably meant to be the DeLorean's flight.
Yeah, as we watch the credits, we're flying through B-roll of clouds.
Which doesn't make a lot of sense because the trip is instantaneous and they go from Hill Valley to Hill Valley.
That's true. I feel like I remember them saying on the commentary that this was B-roll from some other film that they just stole.
They just threw in there just so that we could. And I think the credit sequence kind of sticks out too because this is the only one of the three that has a completely musical intro.
Oh, does it really? I didn't know that.
Like in terms of we get like the full-on title sequence where it's just music playing, because the first one doesn't do that, the third one doesn't do that.
Yeah. Well, here we are in the future.
I was watching this movie earlier today with my boys, and they've seen it a few times. But my oldest, he's like, "So if we're in 2015, how come there aren't any flying cars?"
October 21st, 2015, 4:29 p.m. So take that, Facebook, and all those stupid posts where the date's all wrong.
Yeah, Brian, admit it. Aren't you going to miss those posts now?
It's funny because it's all anticipation. Oh, well, that's not it. It's actually coming up. But it is very weird because as we're dropping this on the actual date, like you said, the future will become the past. This will be a thing that we're like, oh, remember that? We were looking forward to that.
That's something. I'm like trying to process that as we're talking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
That 30 years has passed by in a blink,
Yeah.
Now, how old was Michael J. Fox when he made this movie?
Man, that's a good question. And when did Family Ties end? And
yeah, this was after Family Ties ended because Family Ties ended in like 89.
Yeah. Oh, well, this came out in 1989. November 22nd, 1989 is when this
so this was like mere months after Family Ties ended.
Yeah.
So Michael J. Fox had to have been, what, like 30?
I think he was 28. 27 or 28, something like that.
Now, bear in mind, Marty, like we forget this, Marty's supposed to be like 16.
Yeah, so he's like a 17-year-old, I believe.
You would never know that watching this movie because you cannot mistake Michael J. Fox for a 17-year-old.
No.
In this one, maybe in the first one.
Oh yeah, he's got a boyish face, definitely in the first one.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, as I'm watching the car sail down, in this alley, mini alley here, it's all practical. I mean, we didn't have CGI. CGI existed, but they didn't use it in this movie.
See, Brian, I know you so well. I knew exactly what you were going to point out.
Yeah, and can I just point out, man, I love that car. Like, I was 5 when the first one came out, and that car to me was one of the first magical images I think I ever remember. Sure. So there's something I have an emotional tie to just the way that car looks. Just seen it.
Well, and what's kind of interesting is there was a remarkable foresight in their decision to make not just a car, the time machine, but the DeLorean, a time machine.
And it sort of worked out in their favor. I don't know if they would have known this at the time in '85, but the fact that they would stop being produced,
right?
Like that. So it's locked into this.
That's exactly it. I mean, the term DeLorean is far more associated with this franchise.
Yeah. And by the way, the reason Doc is taking this crap off of his face was a way for them. And he says he visited a rejuvenation clinic. It was so he didn't have to wear old makeup. Because in the first movie, when he's in the present in 85, he's wearing old man makeup.
Right.
And no makeup in 55. So they didn't want to have to put the old man makeup on through the rest of the next two movies. So they wrote it out with silly sci-fi nonsense.
He also took a trip through the expositron, apparently.
Yeah. What do you say? He's something about his blood, too. Like, you got new blood or something.
I had my blood cleaned, and yeah.
Yeah. All right. So here we go.
This is all backlot.
This is all backlot, Universal backlot, which it looks great. I mean, it looks like Hill Valley. Like, I went on a tour of the Universal backlot, and I was like, oh, there's Hill Valley.
So Hill Valley is still, like, the sets are still up. Of the square, of like the town square.
Well, they had a fire maybe 7 years ago or something like that.
Oh, no.
And it's been recreated. But, well, here we go. Here we got the Power Laces.
Which we're still waiting for.
Oh, man. Seriously, looking at all this stuff just makes me like, I've been wanting this stuff for 30 years. And this is funny, too, because he has his, Marty puts on this jacket here, that doesn't fit. And then he hits a button and it adjusts to fit. And there's a great picture, actually, if you look it up on Google or something like that, where you can see a behind-the-scenes photo of how that jacket worked. And it's basically Marty, a camera pointed at him, and like 8 guys on the ground.
Okay. Like
laying on cardboard with like hydraulics and whatnot, making that stupid thing work.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's really funny.
Now, when we talk about how they depict the future, I think it's kind of brilliant that they decided, let's not even try for sort of verisimilitude. Let's just go for a wacky, crazy future.
Right. A future they know will never happen.
Yeah.
In that way, they can't be wrong. It's just silly.
Although it sure seems like the universe is trying to make this movie be right.
Isn't that interesting? I mean, really? Because, Nike has actually patented self-tying laces or whatever. People actually spent time and money on that, right? I mean, that's to catch up to an old movie.
Yeah.
Prediction of the future. And hoverboards. I mean, we've been hearing about those for the past 5 or so years. People trying to invent the technology. And then this year, Lexus actually came out with one that actually kind of works.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And of course, you can buy Pepsi Perfect. And
yes. Yeah. Pepsi actually made a Pepsi Perfect, but it's like a $20 collector's item kind of thing.
Well, the Pepsi costs like $50 in this movie, I think.
Oh, is that what it is? And the USA Today there, I think, costs $6, which is funny.
I think that's the most egregious out of date thing is that newspapers still
the newspaper. Yeah, that's true. It would have been on an iPad now, or Surface. I don't know. I don't know your allegiances.
So I'm an Apple person. So
okay.
Sorry, are we mortal enemies now? Is that
no? I'm an iPad guy too, but I know a couple listeners that are Surface people. Hi. Why do you think they had it rain and then stop all of a sudden?
I'm guessing it was to illustrate how just the
he knows what's going to happen.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now this here is obviously this is meant to mirror Marty's entry to 1955 Hill Valley.
Right.
And so we kind of get and the same music cue and everything.
Mm-hmm. And I don't see it. It's a little obscured right now, but I read somewhere that the ledge of the clock tower still has the chip missing. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I can see it. From when Doc slipped and cracked it in 1955.
Thank you, Blu-ray.
Yeah. It's kind of amazing, too. They put that little pond there.
Right.
To shake up the look there. You can see...
You can see all the little cars flying around. I never noticed that before, actually.
Yeah, and watch how it's a effect, and then the camera passes by Marty, and then it becomes a real car. They do that a lot. That's how they cover a lot of their cuts and transitions in here. Is the camera swipes past someone.
That's kind of. I mean, it's simple, but it works.
Totally works. And you get the Texaco because in 1955 it was the full service station, and now you got the robotic service.
Now, this also, Universal put out a fake trailer for Jaws 19.
Yeah.
Just now.
This one little joke. Shark still looks fake. Are those Hare Krishnas in the background?
Yeah.
I never noticed that before. Those people dancing with the tambourines?
Oh, that's hilarious.
The magic of Blu-ray.
It's like we're seeing it for the first time on Blu-ray.
I know.
Now, so that's the malt shop is now like the 80s cafe.
Yep. And here we go, looking at the antique shop. We got Roger Rabbit, which Robert Zemeckis also directed, which would have come out a year before this movie. Jaws, the video game.
Well, and I, that shot lingers on the almanac, but we have no idea how sort of integral that's going to end up becoming to the plot.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny is that girl just walked out of the cafe and she's wearing those tight clothes. It's kind of like yoga pants.
There you go. Well,
It did come true.
It is the 80s.
You got that girl at the counter. It looks like pink.
It is pink.
Yeah. And then you got the Max Headroom style Michael Jackson there on the screen. Max Headroom, if people don't recall. Remember, I mean, he was like an 80s staple.
He really was. And his I mean, it's almost like more people have seen this movie in the interim than have seen Max Headroom.
Yeah. Yeah. But the whole thing here with Ronald Reagan on the screen, all acting like
and the Ayatollah.
Yeah. That stuttery computer thing.
I mean, you wonder, like that stuff is completely alien to people who are watching this movie now.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have no concept of the Ayatollah and whatnot.
There's the Pepsi Perfect. And then we got Old Man Biff.
Tom Wilson, he I was going to say he doesn't get enough credit, but I mean, he does because he's beloved for playing this role. But I mean, he's a really versatile actor just in terms of how he makes each of his characters so distinct from each other.
I will say he's underrated because I don't think he comes up as often. But like you said, I mean, he's got so many versions of the Tannen family, and they're all really distinct and really good.
Yeah.
He's got his little knocker cane.
Well, and really, I mean, when you think about it, so many versions of Biff.
Yeah. And by the way, so you got Griff landing in the background right here. This is one of those things I want to point out about how brilliant Robert Zemeckis is as a visual filmmaker. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's so showy without being showy.
He doesn't call attention to it.
Yeah. But that's brilliant. And then you got, 2 Tom Wilsons here, which happens a lot throughout this movie. We got a lot of characters doubling up, maybe even quadrupling up at some points. Flawlessly, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's one of his real gifts as a filmmaker is exactly that.
Yeah, I mean, he narrates with the camera.
The effect.
What's that?
He doesn't hang a lampshade on the effect.
No, but it is stylish. It's just so perfect you just don't think about it. You just accept it, and the story is...
And there's little Frodo Baggins there in the background.
Yeah. Elijah Wood playing the Wild Gunman, which is foreshadowing for Back to the Future 3.
Now, see, unlike with Back to the Future 1, which they had no concept of doing sequels, this, they knew. I mean, they filmed both of these back to back, so all of the foreshadowing is very deliberate.
Yeah.
We hear, I think Doc Brown later talks about how he always wanted to visit the Wild West.
Yep. Wheel of Fortune playing there on the table. I never noticed that. So, and then we got 2 Martys. Or 2 Michael J. Foxes. Shooting
movies simultaneously back to back. But this wasn't the first time it was done, but I mean, it was fairly rare at the time.
Yeah. And an investment. It was 11 months, I think, shooting schedule. That's insane.
And I mean, that tells you that Universal had a lot of confidence that both of these movies would do well.
Yeah. Well, it began right as one big unwieldy script.
Yeah.
I believe. And then they decided might as well just split it up. It's funny here with his kid, Marty Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Michael J. Fox, but they just do these weird, subtle things to him where I'm always like, is that Michael J. Fox? Like his nose looks a little different. His eyes look a little different. I think his eyes are brown. Like it's just subtle enough where it's like, it does look weird. So
you think they applied a prosthesis to him, or
I don't know. It looks like he's got fake teeth.
I mean, now that you mention it, I'm noticing that they're not. It's not like they're twins or clones or something,
Yeah, they look different
which makes sense.
Yeah. It's funny here. You got Griff's gang, which mirrors the gang in the 50s.
Yeah. We need more Billy Zane though.
Yeah, yeah. Look at it, and the guy's got like digital parts drawn onto his face.
And they're in the back, by the way. That's Jason Scott Lee, who starred in Dragon, the Bruce Lee story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. He's got the best laugh coming up. Oh, no, here's a new thing that they added. The whole characteristic of Marty not liking being called a chicken, which is not at all on display in the first movie.
Yeah, and it's a very forced, like, I mean, it's kind of, we roll with it, but it does feel very forced.
It's funny because it is. It absolutely is. But somehow these movies, like, they're not slapstick, but they are definitely heightened comedically in ways.
Sure.
And somehow you just roll with it. You just buy it.
And that's something that Bob Gale, I believe, has even talked about. That essentially it was because Marty is not the character who undergoes sort of an arc in the first one, and so they didn't feel the need to give him like any character flaws.
That's a good point. Yeah, yeah. Now, yeah, he has the arc, I guess, over the 2 movies.
Yeah, of it's okay if people call you chicken.
Right.
Which most 6-year-olds learn.
right. The hoverboard. Zaki, you have no idea. I was so obsessed with this.
How many dreams were launched on this scene, right?
Well, now here's the thing, right? Well, first of all, too, I mean, there's a couple shots where it looks a little hairy, but you got it. Like, they handle this thing spectacularly.
Yeah.
Like the cutting, they know just when to stop, just when to start. And just all the little tricks of having it half off screen.
Sure.
So someone could be holding it. Like, it's, man, I mean, especially for this movie being from like 1989, when you watch some movies from 1989, they look like they're from 1968, but like,
yeah,
this movie looks pretty fresh. But anyway, so the worst thing Robert Zemeckis has ever done was in a behind the scenes special, he said that hoverboards were real and that parenting groups just wanted to keep them off the market. And I thought I was one of the only idiots that fell for that. And then come to find out as I grew up and the internet started existing that a lot of people fell for that. And I was even, I'll admit it right here, I made my mom go to Toys R Us and ask someone about it.
Oh, no.
That's true. My poor mother, like, oh, fine, son.
And she loves you that much. She did it.
Yeah. So here we go. They don't work on water, folks.
You need power. So there you go. That's Bruce Lee right there in the back.
Yeah.
Now, it's kind of funny because when you think about the Back to the Future series, right? And it's like you list certain iconic elements. You got the DeLorean, obviously, but the hoverboard is like right up there.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's like that's from part 2, like that. Had there been only one movie, we would have been deprived of this sort of key piece of the Back to the Future mind space.
I gotta admit, yeah, in this whole future sequence is really only like 20 minutes or something like that, I think.
Yeah.
And when I think of Back to the Future, I do include this jacket and the shoes and the hoverboard, like you're saying.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's essentially a sort of a humorous interlude, really. All this 2015 stuff before we get to the very dark, alternate present/past.
Yeah. Ooh.
Now, right there where he says "holy shit," when they showed that on TV, he would say "holy geesh."
Oh, really?
Holy geesh. That was the best they could come up with.
That's funny because, yeah, the first one especially, I had that one taped off TV, and I have the TV version definitely more memorized in my head than I do the real one. It's always like, geez Louise, Doc.
Geez Louise, you disintegrated Einstein.
Exactly. Your jacket is now dry. I wanted that jacket so bad.
So at this point, oh, and by the way, we should point out here that the Cubs seem intent on making this movie right.
Yes, I know. It's super exciting. I mean, we're both from Chicago, so
I as much, obviously I have Chicago pride, but I actually want the Cubs to win more because of Back to the Future 2.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't that be insane? They haven't been in a World Series or won the World Series since, 1908?
Yeah.
And wouldn't it be crazy if Back to the Future 2 was like, no, 2015, watch for it.
Oh, isn't it? I mean, it's amazing. It's
Yeah. By the way, this guy here who's talking to Marty, that's Charles Fleischer, the guy who voiced for Roger Rabbit. Yeah.
No kidding. They've got him in makeup, obviously.
Yeah. Getting that almanac.
So if you had a time machine and you had access to an almanac, would you do what Biff does?
Man, I would. Yes, I would. I don't know that I wouldn't go as crazy as he does, but yeah. Oh heck yeah.
How could you not, right?
How could you not? Sure. Yeah, that's great. The car hovering there. There's probably a crane holding it off. Oh man, that looks great. DeLorean. Haven't seen one of those in 30 years.
So again, I mean, it's kind of funny, like Biff's transition into just like the big bad of the series.
Yeah.
Because in the first one, he's like a jerk.
Yeah, he's just a bully.
Yeah, exactly.
But in this one, he becomes murderous.
Yeah, exactly. They take him to a very dark place.
Mm-hmm. Well, look at that. I didn't notice this on my own, but I saw this later that Doc's shirt has trains all over it, foreshadowing the next movie.
Wow, I would never have noticed that, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Cubs sweep series in 5. I don't know if I'd noticed that before. All right. 5. Well, got it.
The bar has been set.
Yeah.
The whole notion of a newspaper, that I just find that.
I know. I was just going to say, I love the whole. So he's got the newspaper from tomorrow, October 22nd, I see.
That's right.
Yeah. Because we just had the portable paparazzi, that robotic paparazzi, come down and take the picture.
You know that's coming.
Oh, that makes absolute sense.
TMZ is just waiting for the technology to exist for that.
Yeah, this is great. Perfectly natural slip out of the bag. And then Doc actually becomes a dad here. Marty. So by the way, this cafe, I just saw The Sting for the first time. Paul Newman, Robert Redford.
Yeah.
And that same cafe is featured in that. I was like, that's the Back to the Future cafe.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You ever wonder, like, how did Doc and Marty become friends?
People bring that up. I've heard that brought up. I've heard, Bob Gale explain it, where it's sort of like, if you're this kind of kid and you'd be drawn to sort of the local Looney Tune or something like that, which I half buy. It's funny because in the movie, their charisma is great. Like you completely buy their friendship. But how do they get introduced? I have no idea. Unless they were like direct neighbors, that would make more sense.
That would make more. Well, I mean, are they not? I mean, it's never established where Doc lives. Well, no, it is. No, it isn't established where Doc lives.
It's not, is it?
I mean, not geographically in relation to the McFly house.
No, not really. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's close because it seems like Marty's in a different neighborhood. But this was from the first movie. I was at work and we were talking about this at lunch. A little tangent, but they talk about Lorraine and George say that Marty, that's a good name. They say that at the end of part 1, and then if that's the case, and they love that name so much, why did they wait till their third kid to name him Marty?
Well, I mean, obviously,
not the middle one, the daughter.
Not gonna name the daughter Marty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why did you gave birth to him and you're like, here's little
Yeah,
looks like a Dave to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like a Dave. The thing with, I mean, when you actually think about the time travel shenanigans, it like makes your brain turn to pudding.
That's why I like the movie. This one does get into the nitty gritty a little bit there in the middle because it has to, but I like that it mostly avoids all that stuff because it's like, who cares? Like the adventure is about what happens as they travel through time, not what traveling through time is.
That would become a very different movie.
Yeah, that'd be Looper.
There you go. Which is awesome, by the way.
Oh, it's great.
We're talking about Tom Wilson. We should point out that the Back to the Future animated series which aired for a couple seasons in the early 90s. Tom Wilson was, I think, him and Mary Steenburgen were the only actors who were in the movies and the TV show also.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, so Tom Wilson would voice all the various Tannen people throughout time.
Yeah. So, oh, by the way, the two cops here. So one of them is played by Mary Ellen Trainor.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, who was, I guess, married to Zemeckis.
She's his ex-wife. She just passed away.
She just passed away recently.
Yeah.
And the thing is they're named Reese and Foley, and there's usually a duo of cops or agents in Zemeckis films, and they're always named Reese and Foley.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's true. And it's funny because when I saw The Walk, there's a duo of cops that go up to apprehend the guy, on the top of the Twin Towers, and there's two of them, and I was like, I guarantee their names are Reese and Foley. So I stayed for the credits, and sure enough.
Is that right?
Yeah. So this is supposedly the house of 2015. You got the broken video screen windows, thumbprint entryways.
See, it's weird to me because I have a hard time seeing her as the same character Claudia Wells played.
It is what it is, but it does make you sort of wonder or wish for that continuity. I mean, she does great because it's Elizabeth Shue. She's a great actress.
She does all this comedy stuff fine, but it just doesn't feel like.
Yeah, she's a little more animated than I imagine Claudia Wells would have been.
Well,
but that kind of fits the thing.
I guess. I mean, the Jennifer in the first film was meant to be sort of the alluring, like, object of desire in a sense,
Sure. Well, should we talk about? Are you gonna?
Yeah, the
George McFly here.
Who play now? What's his name? Jeffrey
Weissman.
Weissman, right? Now, they actually outfitted him in prosthetics to somewhat resemble Crispin Glover, who apparently wanted, either the same amount they were paying Michael J. Fox or some such thing, that either he thought Universal was lowballing him or Universal thought he was highballing them. But regardless, Crispin Glover didn't come back, so they wrote George McFly out of the story. But Crispin Glover actually sued Universal over their hiring a guy who kind of looked like him and giving him prosthetics and
use of his image, because if you noticed in the beginning when they recreate the end of the first movie, they used footage from part one, but they didn't pay Crispin Glover for that.
And later in the film too.
Yes, and that actually became rule that you have to pay people to do such a thing. So because of this film.
I mean, in essence, what Back to the Future 2 did could not happen today.
Right.
Especially if Crispin Glover was like pissed at them for, like, he would have had to sign off,
right,
on them using his likeness
and likely get paid.
It's funny because it's kind of the following year, 20th Century Fox tried to do something similar where for Alien 3 they wanted to use Michael Bihn's likeness for one shot of Alien 3.
Right.
And he was pissed at them for writing him out of the movie. So he's like, I want you to pay me what you paid me for Aliens. So in other words, for this one shot of his face, pay me my entire salary. And he got paid his entire salary from Aliens for just one shot of his face.
Wow. Why do you think they put a bird on that taxi cab driver's shoulder?
I think just it adds character. It's texture to this future. It's not, it's just one more. It's like, I think Zemeckis does that, right? He doesn't. He sort of populates the world with sort of local color.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm saying it's an interesting detail. It's so funny because going back to the Jeffrey Weissman thing, playing George McFly. So you got to obscure him. So what do? They hang him upside down, so you can't really get a good look at his face.
Now, did you know that wasn't the same guy? I mean, did he even think about it?
When I first saw this, I mean, I was 9, so probably not.
Yeah.
So look at that. They had the wide flat screen television in '89. They called it.
With the picture in picture in picture in picture.
Yep.
Of course, they also predicted everyone has fax machines, and maybe that's not.
That's true. Every room in this house has fax machines.
And the 2 necktie thing, I'm kind of glad that didn't catch on.
Yeah.
What's happening there?
Oh, man. You know what? It didn't even occur to me. I had a friend on Facebook And they were wearing 2 neckties for like a week and making a big deal out of it, and I didn't even get it. That's funny. Why you would switch out of those shoes, I have no idea.
Yeah, I would want to be buried in them.
Yeah. Hilldale. I love how Marty also comments where he's like, Hilldale, get out of here. Like, I live in Hilldale. Like, it's this great thing. But then in 2015, we can see that it sucks.
It's just
the cops actually comment on it that it's a bad neighborhood. That's like a fun detail, actually. I like that.
Now this here, Biff takes the DeLorean here, and of course that leads us into Act 2 of the movie. But it also leads to a major plot hole.
How's that?
Which is that once Biff leaves, the future, he should not have come back.
Well, they do cover that, right? But in a deleted scene.
Well, where he disappears, right?
Yeah, he eventually fades away, sort of like Marty when he's on stage.
Which is honestly, it's a strange thing to cut out because
I don't know why they cut it out. I remember watching it and thinking it felt really dark.
when you see old Biff disappear.
Yeah, because he's basically this old man, and he's hunched over in the street, and he's dying. It's kind of unpleasant to look at.
But I think it's necessary, right? Because otherwise, it's the future. Once he went back into the past and changed the future, into the past and changed the future, he should not have been able to go back to his old future.
This is true, and Zemeckis has commented that he was editing this movie while he was shooting. So let's say he was in post-production on part 2 while he was shooting part 3. So he would literally take a plane from an hour or 2 north California and come back to work on this movie, and he does feel he wished he had polished it a little more.
Sure.
So maybe he would have thought about that later. I don't know.
Now, so Needles is introduced here.
Yes, played by Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's such random casting.
It is random casting, but he kind of works, doesn't he?
Oh, he's a total douchebag. So yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. His whole kind of like unhinged. McFly.
Now, what do we think of the old age makeup that they put on Michael J. Fox here?
I think it fits the film. You know what I mean? Like none of the makeup looks spectacular,
sure,
necessarily, but I think it fits the movie.
Girl, Michael J. Fox looks like Michael J. Fox in a dress.
Well, that is disturbing. But it's kind of funny because we do know what all these actors look like now in this year. Right. And I remember that was another sort of Facebook meme going around, and I mean, Leah Thompson looks phenomenal.
Yeah, she looks basically the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say though, it's funny with the Blu-ray. I mean, you do get a look at the makeup.
You can see the seams a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I love this whole thing. All right, I'm in. Then immediately, McFly!
Which is like, this guy's like borderline racist portrayal.
Yeah. 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 What's his name? Ito Fujitsu. You're fired. And then the fax.
I love how the fax prints out all over the house. That's just like,
I know.
What about privacy, guys?
Well, it's sort of privacy, and then also, I mean, it is sort of like the internet because they didn't know the internet was coming. Having something wired throughout your entire house,
right? The whole notion of wireless apparently didn't occur to them.
Yeah.
Now, Christopher Lloyd was probably in his 50s when he made this? 40s?
Wow, he must have been. He looks pretty old, doesn't he? Like,
well, I think it's the hair.
Old for 40s, let's say. Yeah, I have thought about that because he plays a different age than what he actually is in all these movies. It's kind of hard to know what he actually is. Oh, here, by the way, yeah, Marty playing Power of Love.
Playing it badly.
With his cramped hands. It's kind of sad, isn't it? It's a sad kind of image. Washed up Marty.
Yeah, and there is that undercurrent of like regret, and like missed opportunities that I almost like you could have done something more with that if you wanted to go in a different direction. Like it could have been that idea of like if they wanted to spend more time in the future, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't that kind of movie, so it's like zap, zap, zap. But
Look at the hovercraft in that driveway. Never noticed that.
see,
So, yeah,
like right here.
Yep.
So they just cut away instead of him disappearing.
Yeah. He looks all weird. He's getting out almost like he's having a heart attack. You don't entirely understand it, but the reason is he's disappearing. He negated his own existence.
I can kind of understand because I can see that like creating just as many questions.
Yeah. I think it works. Breaks the knocker cane off in there.
So Christopher Lloyd, by the way, was 51 when he made Back to the Future 2.
Damn. He's younger than my dad in this movie? That's weird. Oh, yeah. Throwing the garbage in the Fusion. Didn't get Mr. Fusion, did we?
I know. Missed opportunity.
Yeah. So, all's well that ends well, right?
There you go. Roll credits. Now, this is where the movie goes from a fun little future romp to a very dark place.
And it's interesting, too, because it doesn't really feel like it's a lesson. Right? I don't feel like this movie's really trying to give any lessons or anything.
No, I don't think so.
It's all strictly entertainment. Okay, so here's one of the more notable shots where something obscures the car.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can tell because the quality changes, but at the same time, it's pretty seamless.
If you're not looking for it, though, you're not going to notice it.
Yeah. So this is Jennifer's house.
I love how they just leave her on the porch.
Yeah.
Like,
and I love the banged up car over there too. That's hilarious.
They don't take her inside her house. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And bear in mind, I mean, this is like the evil neighborhood.
Which they don't know yet, to be fair.
They don't know, sure. I mean, but it's a miracle she's like alive.
Yeah.
Is my point. I mean, based on what we see happening in the neighborhood later.
Or if she had woken up and started wandering around.
Sure.
Yeah, that's no good. Bars on the windows.
Leave her there. Now you see the neighbor. See, this is interesting because you see the sign and it's all messed up and everything. But like when you were watching for the first time, were you aware of that? You know, I mean, you don't have any sense that anything's wrong.
That's a good point.
Until he goes into the house.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where you're not really going to notice it until like the second viewing.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, even like the door being locked and stuff, like,
yeah,
it's not necessarily going to process.
And you and I went to this house.
We did.
When you were out here visiting one time. It's about 30 minutes from my place. We're like, let's go.
And that was 5 years ago, by the way.
Wow, really?
That was 2010.
Yeah, this is great.
But the people that live in that house, by the way, they must be dealing with that constantly.
What?
Just like random people coming up and taking pictures of their house.
Oh, yeah. There was actually an article about the woman who lives there, and she hates it.
I'm sure.
She's lived there ever since. The neighbor spoke to the newspaper, though, and she doesn't care at all. And she warns people if she sees them, is like, be careful. This woman doesn't like this.
Wow.
Yeah, but you got to imagine next week there's going to be a lot of people.
Oh, I'm sure.
Out there.
It's like the Goonies house. People do that same thing at the Goonies house and whatever.
Yeah, and they eventually... The people who live there eventually kind of shut it down.
Yeah.
Because people are leaving trash and stuff.
So this is our first look at how effed up the neighborhood looks.
Yeah.
See, because it looked relatively normal up until then. And then now suddenly, and the music kind of takes a darker turn.
Yeah. It's got a car on fire.
Yeah, and then the
body outlines.
Yeah. So at this point, we're like, oh, okay.
There's like blood and everything. Jeez. This is pretty grim. And then there's a cut scene here too where Marty runs into his brother, who's like a homeless person and drunk and. Oh,
really? So I wonder why they cut that.
Overkill. I don't know. But and he sees that the school's been burned down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Here it was. He goes.
Poor Mark McClure. He had one scene in the movie and they cut him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now this is James Tolkien's one scene in the movie.
Yep.
Well, no, that's not true. We see him later in the past stuff, but
That's true. Yeah.
But actually, this scene always cracks me up. The interactions between them are priceless for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
James Tolkien, by the way, has basically he has one character, and it's this. Like everything you see him in, it doesn't matter what. He's basically Mr. Strickland.
Right. Right.
In Top Gun, he's Mr. Strickland.
Right. It's totally true. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Now I'm watching the movie.
I know we're getting caught up in it.
I know.
See that right? That cracks me up. He's like, "What the? I just want to know what's
Right. Yeah, and then the drive-by. This is like a very intense future here.
See, I mean, I think if it's one of those things where if you think about it too much, your head starts hurting. But it's like, why would Biff becomes like the richest man on earth? Like, why would his home base be Hill Valley? You know?
Oh, why wouldn't he move to like New York or something?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Right.
The idea that like Hill Valley Town Square is Biff Tower, you know, like
the epicenter of
everything must happen here. You know?
Yeah, you got the same homeless guy there from the end of part 1.
There's Biff as Donald Trump.
Right. So this Pleasure Paradise is an actual casino in Las Vegas. It's on the old strip, and I was standing there at one point, and I was like, "Why does that building look so familiar?" And then I was like, "That's got to be Biff's place," and I looked it up, and it was.
That is really funny. So the sign, the Biff sign, did they add that optically, or?
I have to assume. I don't know, but I have to assume that was.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it's practical there on the Universal lot, but for those wide shots.
For the wide shots, yeah.
Yeah, like a matte painting or something. There's like a tank rolling down the street.
Yeah. And of course, you got the toxic waste reclamation.
Right.
Gotta have that.
Yeah, there it is. I don't know. It does look pretty good, doesn't it? And it did have that huge lit entryway. I remember that too.
The real hotel does.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the whole Biff story.
I love how he wanders by just in time to start at the beginning.
Yeah. The Biff Tannen Museum.
So that's a little bit of foreshadowing right there.
Yeah, which I guess was an original
foreshadowing in this movie of the third one.
They've said that was just one of the many iterations when they were playing around with what Mad Dog Tannen would look like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he doesn't look like that in the third one.
He doesn't look like that. You're right.
And it's the same in 1985. Back to the Future 1 is what I was trying to say. When you look at the jacket cover, the book jacket of George McFly's book, A Match Made in Space or whatever, it doesn't look like what he looks like, George McFly's picture. It's because that was one of the original attempts at what he would look like in the successful future.
So you'd think they would change that, right? I mean, once they figured...
I know. Biff and Marilyn Monroe.
I actually I heard an interview with Tom Wilson on a Chicago radio show actually just a couple weeks ago, and he was talking. You know, he does stand up and whatnot. And he was talking about how he basically does all the Back to the Future stuff right up top. He just gets it out of the way.
Yeah, you gotta.
You know, he does the lines, he does Butthead and all that. Just gets it out of the way so that he doesn't have to hear about it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to bring him much pleasure.
I would imagine it's one of those things where it's like, I'm proud of it, but there's also other stuff I'd like to talk about too.
Yeah.
In addition to that, you know,
I understand that. I mean, it's a tough middle ground, right? Like accepting this thing because everybody loves it, you know, and they don't love it ironically. Like it means something to them, but it's another thing to be on the receiving end of that and to have to hear how special something is to someone for 30 years.
Exactly. So this is like always struck me as creepy and bizarre. Where he's sort of ogling his mom. Yeah.
Right. Which is a complete exact play off of their exchange in 1955.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but it is very odd. She's become Chesty LaRue here.
That's right.
And then Yeah, I remember always finding this scene uncomfortable.
And why is that?
Just how aggressively mean
It's a
Biff
little
is, and
too
especially toward Lorraine. It's like
sure.
abusive, like. I mean, it all fits, but I'll admit, it's always given me a little twinge of discomfort.
Well, he's like shoving her and whatnot, right?
Yeah, he shoves her eventually, and
there's Billy Zane. We said we need more Billy Zane. There he is.
yeah, Billy Zane playing sidekick number 2.
Yeah, I don't think he has a name, does he? Does his character?
No. But his mother's an alcoholic again. Remember, that was something that got in the first movie. That was something in her bad version.
That's right.
She was an alcoholic. Now she's an alcoholic here. And then the 3D guy, 3D, still got his 3D glasses on for some reason.
So now in this timeline, real Marty, the real Marty of this timeline is in like Europe or something.
Oh, yeah. I forgot they actually do explain that.
Right, and the real Doc is like in an institution.
Yes, committed instead of commended.
That's
It's got to make you wonder, why she married him. They never really explain it, do they? In the movie, I mean,
I can only assume that. So he kills George and then he comforts her. And
right. Yeah.
And I mean, he's probably like, he only becomes a massive douchebag later on.
Man, but you get, just like you were saying earlier, though. I mean, he's a bully in every generation,
right?
But man, he is something else. As 1985 alternate mean Biff.
Yeah, exactly.
He is so good, and Leah Thompson too. I mean, she plays little horny teenager Lorraine, and then she plays alcoholic Lorraine, and
yeah,
she's really good too. Something just while Lorraine and Marty have their little exchange here, something I was going to bring up earlier, and it comes into play later also, but a lot of the way that they, instead of using green screen and other sorts of tricks, the way that they got the same actors to appear on screen together, like in that exchange with the whole McFly family back in 2015, was they used this camera. I think it was called the Vista Glide.
Okay. Are
you familiar with this?
No.
So Zemeckis was like huge on this thing. I think he used it in a lot of his movies. Roger Rabbit, this Forrest Gump, and the way that it works is it films. It's operated by a computer, so he can program exactly how he wants the camera to move, and it will do that every time. And so what he would do then is he would film one actor, and it would only film a portion of the frame, and then he'd film another portion of the frame, and then another portion of the frame until they all
like pieces of a pie.
Yep, exactly. And then he could glue them together. I think it would be through an optical printer. I don't think it was all into the same frame.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. And apparently when they did that whole thing in the future, so everything in the background can't move.
Okay.
Because the camera is going to move over the same area, and then there'll be discrepancies. It'll be almost like there's like some weird fuzzy line in the middle where things aren't hooking up. And apparently there was an earthquake while they were filming.
Oh, jeez! Of course there was.
And so they, they had a little heart attack, and then realized that nothing had moved and everything was good, and they could move on. But
this right here, I want to point out. I mean, I gotta say, it works, man. I mean, it is. You just look at that. It crushes you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he really sells the hell out of this moment, and I think it's
his father's grave.
Yeah,
it's true.
I mean, this is Marty at his lowest point,
Yeah.
Because he thought his life everything was fixed,
Right.
And when you think of it, for him, it's been not even a day.
Yeah, that's a funny thing to think about.
With
all these movies, yeah. Like Marty really, I mean, aside from being in the Old West for several days, I mean, he's wearing the same jeans. You know what I mean? He experiences a heck of a lot in a short amount of time.
I mean, I think even what is he in the Old West for? Like a week? I mean, it isn't a huge amount of time, I don't think.
Yeah, a week or less, yeah. So now we're back in Doc's laboratory.
So this is exposition land right here.
Which is funny because, I mean, it's very listenable.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
sure.
you really got to give it to Christopher Lloyd. I mean, this scene, and you think of the scene in the first movie when he's explaining time travel and the jump in a minute when he has the stopwatch on Einstein. He's so animated, and the way that he shouts everything, you just can't help but listen.
Well, and first of all, I wonder if that story would actually merit like the front page the way it is.
George McFly murder, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess he's a local author, right? Or
Well, what
celebrity.
would definitely not merit front page is local scientist committed.
I'd never thought about that. Damn you. Which is funny too, by the way, what Doc's doing here on the chalkboard, where he's talking about the alternate timeline. It's funny how this was probably a complicated concept in a story at the time.
Yeah.
But now it's like all of our prequels
Isn't that funny?
depend on this. We had Star Trek and Terminator and all this.
That's right.
It's like audiences are just expected, or the X-Men franchise, you're just expected to understand alternate timelines now.
Well, and you kind of go, oh, it's like Back to the Future too. Like now you have a frame of reference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's kind of, I mean, when you think about it, the movie has reached a point where you actually need a character to draw a diagram on a board to explain to you what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
But yet you're not like lost,
No.
I mean, because the way, I mean, it makes perfect sense. See, again, that's a front page story, really?
Hill Valley wins bigot races. Well, that's fantastic. It must be a really small town.
That's like, stop the presses,
Yeah. That's hilarious.
It's
funny, by the way he uses that lens to see the book in the pocket. It's interesting because Zemeckis does the same thing in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where he uses a glass. Eddie Valiant or whatever uses a glass to look at a picture to see the will sticking out of someone's pocket.
That's funny. And that's just a year before this.
Yep.
So he was just, it's funny because when you think about it, the 80s was this period of mad productivity for Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah. Like
where he was bounding from one blockbuster to the next.
Yeah.
See, it's very helpful. It's 1985 and 1985A.
Yep.
He's got it all figured out.
Everybody got that?
I know. See, again, front page Emmett Brown committed.
Look what happens to me. You see Nixon to
Crackpot
seek fifth
inventor.
term.
Like that's
You
so
see that? Nixon to seek fifth term, vows to end Vietnam, 1985.
Oh, that's funny.
Isn't that in Watchmen?
Yeah, I was about to
Nixon?
say. I was like, oh, okay, so
That's hilarious.
They ripped off Watchmen, clearly.
Reagan was watching this like, oh no. Well,
Reagan, like famously, remember the joke in the first one about Ronald Reagan, the actor?
right.
And famously, when they screened it for him in the White House, he was just laughing hysterically at that. Here's another foreshadowing.
Yes. Yeah, this is it's funny because you would have no idea because the sequel didn't come out for like another half a year.
I know, that's the beauty of it. It's like brilliant because only in hindsight you're like,
Yeah, they're literally showing you the end of Back to the Future 3 here.
Right.
With Clint Eastwood showing the iron underneath his poncho. And I love how Biff calls it out too. He's like, brilliant, brilliant. He's got 2 bimbos in the hot tub. They're such
Biff
80s. They're what?
They're the Biff Bows.
Biff Bows. Now you throw that thing in the water.
This is now where we find out that he killed George.
Yes.
In this scene, or
the scene to follow.
Adjacent to this scene, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our final clue that he's 100% evil.
Yes. Yeah. Gray's Sports Almanac. This is great. This is another huge exposition scene, but you got an actor who's so interesting that you can't help but listen to him.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, it's like, I mean, Michael J. Fox, like a lot of his job is basically just playing off of the people who do the heavy lifting as far as the dialogue goes.
I never really thought about it, but this movie does have a lot of explanation in it.
But again, it's to your point earlier. I mean, it's never like overwhelming. It's never like oh my gosh, I'm getting lost in all this. It all in it's consistent within itself.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, the internal logic basically hangs together.
Well, with the matchbooks, a lot of clever.
And that's all stuff like you wouldn't think about how that's going to come into play later.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
So how many times have you seen this movie?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I have a very distinct memory of watching this on video. Like I remember watching this several times on video.
Did you see it in the theater when it came out?
Yes. Yeah, I remember actually being on the playground at school and talking about this movie with my friends.
In the past tense, having seen it already.
Yes.
Now, at that time, did you know going into part 2 that part 3 was coming? Or were you like, oh man, to be continued?
I don't recall. I really don't recall. I know at the end of the movie, actually, they hint at it. Remember, they have that like preview.
They have the little teaser for part 3.
Yeah. But I do remember being really excited for this because Back to the Future 1 was one of my first movie-going experiences, like theatrical experiences. And I remember it making a big impression on me and loving it on video and whatnot. And that was another thing, actually, because the to be continued wasn't in the theatrical version. And that was something that they added to the VHS version when it came out.
To be at the end of the first one.
At the end of the first film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I guess, claim to remember it being in the theater, but Bob Gale swears up and down it was never, yeah. But when it came out, knew they were doing a sequel. So anyway, yeah, I was very much looking forward to this movie, and I remember even standing in line for this movie, being excited to go in with my parents.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember it pretty well.
You and your brother went?
Yeah, the whole family. Which is another thing too. I mean, this movie's rated PG.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like PG now is basically like kids movies.
Yeah, very true.
You know what I mean, like there's really no G movies anymore.
Yeah, PG, right. It's funny because the I just went through the Rocky movies and those are all PG.
Right.
And I mean those movies are just people just beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, exactly.
That's PG, yeah.
Have you ever really tried to work the staircase out in your mind? Like,
it's like an MC Escher painting.
That's what I just said. Yeah. Apparently, this is the Universal building.
Like just the stairwell of the actual building.
Yeah, I don't know where this is. Probably a stage.
This looks like a set. Yeah.
Yeah, this is dark as hell, though. I mean, he's like points a gun. He's gonna shoot.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a pretty far cry from what the first movie is about. You know what I mean?
And that's why I understand why a lot of people don't like this movie as much as the first one, because it isn't the first movie.
Right.
I mean, the first movie is a sweet sort of love story, really. Pretty grounded, but this one goes a little, crazy. But I feel like it keeps it together.
Well, I mean it becomes an adventure series with this one, I would say.
Totally.
It was the first one, like you said, it's more whimsical.
Yeah. I love this, like it's like, hey, look, saunter over to the edge. This is great. The gull wing door.
And actually, we're talking about iconic elements. The flying DeLorean.
That is true too. Like you say, I mean, well, I guess that isn't the end of the first one.
Sure, but
I think mostly
all the stuff it can do,
That miniature looks pretty damn good, doesn't it?
I mean, you know what? If it was CG, it would not look better than the miniature.
No. Yeah, and you watch the behind the scenes on the Blu-ray or DVD or whatnot, and you can see it's interesting because it's a miniature, but they've got these little dolls, Marty and Doc.
Okay.
They don't look that great. It's kind of interesting, but it totally works on screen.
So now there's another bit of foreshadowing right there.
Yeah, glitch 1885.
It's funny because I'm actually noticing some of this stuff for the first time now, even though, I mean, gosh, I don't even know how many times I've seen this.
Yeah. What does he say? Like something like, we're going to go back to 1955? I don't believe it. You won't believe it, Doc. I don't believe it.
Now the decision to go back to the first movie, I think that in and of itself is kind of an interesting one. Like, how did they decide on that?
Well, that's funny you brought it up. I forgot. So there are earlier drafts of this script online, and me being the Back to the Future dork that I am, I've read them. And the very first version of the sequel. So Bob Gale, right? Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis wrote the first one together, but then Robert Zemeckis went on to make Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So Bob Gale wrote the sequel by himself. And the first version of part 2 was in the 60s. And Marty, I can't remember why he goes back in time or how, but he ends up going to the 60s, and George and Lorraine become like hippies, and he accidentally like separates them. So he ruins his conception, which is even creepier than any of the creepy elements in these movies already. And so he has to get them back together and get them to conceive or whatnot. And I remember the way that he gets back, the way that he uses the DeLorean is he's got to drive it into a set of power lines.
Okay.
He like drives it basically off a hill into a set of power lines. But anyway, Zemeckis decided that was too similar to the first film.
It sounds like the first movie.
It is the first movie. Yeah. So they reconceived it. And I love this, by the way, the running up and down.
Yeah.
It's so if it's insane. If you were there in person, you'd be like, what are you doing?
But real quick, look how much money he has.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been all over the place, hasn't he?
Now, bear in mind, he dies in 1855 because of like $20.
Right. Yeah, that was a great joke. I love the whole be as conspicuous or blend in, and he's got this like spy hat on and glasses, and leather jacket. Dak, come in, Dak. By the way, these walkie-talkies that he's holding, my brother and I had those very walkie-talkies.
Oh, really?
And I remember watching the movie and being like, they don't work that well. They don't even work like in separate rooms.
I love that Biff's house is basically like Nelson Muntz's house.
Yeah, look at he's like even a dick to children.
It's just he's just like a comic book villain, you know.
Yeah, even more so
cartoonish super villainy, you know.
You like this ball? Screw you, kids! He takes the ball away. Now beat it. I love these movies.
I mean, when you think about it, they could have done like, Back to the Future in dinosaur times, or but they were like, no, let's revisit the first movie.
Yeah, and it's great too because we literally go into the first movie later, but I love this sort of seeing the same time period, and we know the story that's going on. We know the dance is coming up. Just seeing what am I trying to say? The other corners, the corners we hadn't seen before, right? You know what I mean? Where he's getting the manure. He just got the manure cleaned out. Like we didn't know of this in the first movie, but now we're getting to see other parts of the day from the first film that we weren't aware of.
So it just adds texture to that experience.
Yeah, and you got Charles Fleischer playing the guy there again.
Oh, so same guy,
mechanic, yeah.
So in essence, this is, I mean, I think that's when you think about it, there's like, when you think about the layers of story, there's like, movie one is happening. So like Doc and Marty are in Doc's house and planning there. And then here's Doc. And I mean, you know what I mean? There's like levels of story that are all intermingling,
Yeah. They got Lorraine with her dress.
The famous dress.
Yeah.
What a scumbag this guy is.
He is such a dick. Like cartoonish, yeah.
It's just I've said this before, but I mean that's always the question I have at the end of the first one, like in the new 1985. Like Biff is the guy who like tried to rape Lorraine.
I know.
But he's like around the house.
It's amazing too. Yeah, at the end, they let him wax
He's
their
like,
car.
hey, Mr. McFly, look, it's like you're still that like that. You don't forget something like that.
Well, it's funny because I mean, you read it on paper, you could see people making a note, saying like this is kind of intense, but somehow this movie just pulls it off and keeps it all, whimsical.
I've seen the first one a couple times in the theater, and every single time when George decks Biff, that's the applause moment.
Oh, every time. And I'll completely admit, I still get a lump in my throat when that happens.
Sure.
It still works.
You wonder what kind of movie would this be if Crispin Glover had been in it? Would he have a bigger role?
Well, apparently, yeah, he got written down further and further as that was going on. Yeah. So yeah, what role would he have played?
Right. Would he be dead in the future? You know?
Yeah. So anyway, we got the Vista Glide going on here, where we got the two Biffs.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of amazing when you think about it, because they're dealing with real sunlight here, because they're outside. I mean, when they're in the garage, you can control the light.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they pulled that off.
No. Were we on the back lot there?
Yeah, that was backlot.
Yeah. This is
recognize the movie theater. And then, yeah, now back at Biff's house. So apparently, I haven't caught it. Maybe we'll see it here. But okay, so we got the two Biffs, again, using that VistaGlide camera in this scene. And the camera moves and does interesting things. And I guess one of the Biff's hands gets cut off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just read that earlier, and I've never noticed it before. So maybe we'll see.
Is it in this shot here?
Yeah, in the garage.
Well, I guess. Let's keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for it. But again, this is a whole other scene where there's just a ton of explanation. You know, like, how does this thing work? Like, not only how does it work, we got to watch it work. Let's listen to a game. Did you hear that? You know, this is the score in here. Like, there's a lot going on, but it's all pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So you buy it. And it's one actor conversing with himself.
That's amazing. And unless it's pointed out to you, you just forget about it.
Yeah.
See, I mean, like right there, that's amazing. You know, that's
no cut. There's no cut there.
That's
Zemeckis. That's what he does, though. I mean, in all his movies, they are so effects heavy, but he never calls attention to them. They're just integral to the story.
Yeah.
And apparently this game that they're listening to here in the score, this is like a real game and a real score.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be. I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Would you use the almanac?
Oh, are you kidding me?
I like that I took a second, like, whoa, there are moral implications, but let's be honest, I'm only human.
I would 100% use it for entirely evil purposes. I would be like Biff times 10.
That's hilarious. Well, as long as I could be your Billy Zane.
You'd be my Billy Zane.
All right, no problem. Look at that. He hands it off to himself. How did they do that?
That's amazing. And in one shot.
Yeah.
So I love the whole game of keep away that's played with the almanac for the rest of the movie.
You got a safe? Get a safe.
So from this point, old Biff takes off and he disappears in the future.
Yep. And gets erased from existence.
Exactly. So, I mean, in terms of all the different timeline nonsense going on, I mean, again, you're still able to keep it straight pretty well.
Yeah. And then you got Marty locked here in the garage, all smoked out. See all that smoke? I was just telling my brother about that. People don't use atmosphere in movies anymore. I don't know why.
Everything has sort of the polished sheen, like.
Yeah, but it made light more interesting. And added more depth. And it's funny because I noticed Spielberg did it in Bridge of Spies.
Yeah.
Spielberg. Smoking up the room.
There's a lot of smoke in that movie.
Yeah.
And a lot of light reflecting through the smoke.
We'll talk about
that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on another episode. All right, now to the dance. Again, like you said, getting the texture. This is the part we didn't see, that Biff was getting yelled at by his grandmother.
So you get a sense of Biff's home life. Like he's not this child of privilege. He's
right.
Like, you know what I mean? They could have gone that way too. You know what I mean?
Sure. He's like some snotty kid.
Yeah, he's just a douchebag because he was raised that way.
Yeah, this is really fun too. By the way, I mean, you really think about it. The whole goal here isn't some huge special effect or something crazy. It's, we got this book. Marty needs it. Let's get it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thrust of pretty much the whole third act. Right?
There's no blue beam shooting into the sky.
No, like you said, it's a game of keep away, and it's just a clever storytelling, how to continue to get that thing out of Marty's hands.
Right.
And it's
Exactly.
super thrilling, right? Like it just totally works. Right? So
I
here you
think
go. Okay. Okay, go
now
ahead.
another bit of foreshadowing here because that tunnel becomes.
Comes into play later, which by the way, that tunnel's at Griffith Park
Oh, is that a real
down here in
tunnel?
Los Angeles. Yeah, I took a girl on a date up to Griffith Park one time several years ago, and we were walking through the park, and I go, "Holy crap! I know that tunnel." And I was like, "No way! Is that the tunnel?" I freaked out, and I had to go through it. And he also uses the same tunnel as Toontown in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's not as long as it appears on film. I think he uses like a long angle lens.
Okay. Now this is very clever here.
Yep.
Nice
Yeah,
little
Doc
interaction
interacting with
between the
Doc.
two docs.
Yeah.
It's a paradox, if you will.
Yeah, which was the working title of this movie.
Was it really?
Yeah. So if you watch the behind the scenes and you see the slates, they all say Paradox.
Was that like a like Blue Harvest kind of thing? Or?
Exactly, like an alias.
Okay.
But it's great. Yeah, seeing there's old Doc. Or original 1955 Doc, I should say.
Yeah, young Doc, not old Doc.
Young Doc, yeah. I love this. This is such a great little moment here. You can almost see this moment being cut in a way, but it's nice
Sure.
to have it.
Yeah, but it's just, I mean, again, it you like that. You never get to see Marty interact with himself.
No, yeah, you're right. Well, around himself, but not with himself.
Yeah.
Look at they even do like a rack focus. I mean, this is like heavy duty like visual effects stuff here, but it's so coy. And look at see, you got the little thing blocking it when he hands it off.
You're right.
Put the little divider there. It's great.
Well, and I mean, just in terms of these kinds of effects, I mean, Back to the Future 2 far outpaces the original one.
Sure.
Just
I remember someone pointing out that the original movie only has like 20 effects in it or something like that. And you're like,
yeah,
what?
I mean,
like, you don't think of the movie that way.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's the time travel effect at the beginning and the end.
Yeah, but the movie feels so big.
Right.
And it's not.
Yeah, it's a very intimate movie, actually.
Yeah. Huh. So now we're back. What is this? Is Whittier High School in Whittier, California.
So where is this?
South of Los Angeles, about 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Okay. And all of these locations have kind of become like, pilgrimage locations, I would guess,
Yeah, you can go on YouTube and you find people that visit these things. Sometimes they'll do tours too.
Think about that. That's these are 25-year-old, 30-year-old movies.
Yep.
And yet they still okay. So that's
There's
another
George,
shot of Crispin Glover.
Yep.
So essentially, they didn't pay him. That's entirely bullshit. Like,
yeah, it makes sense now. But yeah, they had to recreate this whole thing. By the way, this is I can't remember the name of this church, this basement, but this is the church. If you go to the Kodak Theater, if you visit Hollywood, you go to the tourist spot where you go to the Kodak Theater and you go look at the Hollywood sign. This is the church right behind it. This is their auditorium.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, which, by the way, so you see Biff spiking the punch there, or I guess not Biff, the 3D guy, but in the first movie, you see George drinking from the punch bowl before he gets all the courage.
Oh.
You wonder if they added that posthumously. I don't know how to say that word. As a extra explanation of how George got his courage.
Yeah. He had a little courage juice.
Yeah. But I mean, how satisfying is it to go back to that dance that you remember from the first movie, but have a whole new adventure taking place there?
Well, when you think about it, they were setting a very high bar for themselves because there's no way any of this was easy to do.
Right.
Even harder than doing like dinosaurs or something. Not that I wanted to see, by the way, Back to the Future in dinosaur times. That sounds terrible, but you know what I mean?
Well, that was the Universal ride.
Where you actually go through dinosaur time?
Yeah, Biff steals the time machine and starts jumping through time, and he goes to dinosaur times, and you almost get eaten by a dinosaur, which is fun in theory, like for a ride or for the cartoon. But yeah, that's not what you want to see.
That's not right.
Again, I mean, it's cat and mouse with him and this almanac. And the Ooh La La magazine.
Now, have they gotten rid of the Back to the Future ride, or is it still there?
It is not there anymore. It's become the Simpsons ride.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a 4D. You're still in like a car that jostles back and forth.
Okay.
And they spit water at you and stuff like that.
It seems wrong somehow that Universal doesn't have a Back to the Future ride anymore.
Well, it's interesting because I think there was a time where it was like, well, this movie's really old and, we don't have a lot of space. But it feels like Back to the Future in the recent years has almost increased in being beloved. I think, it was always beloved by people, but it seems like it's become more ubiquitous in its being beloved in recent years.
I mean, it's like, it feels like, well, I mean, the Jurassic Park ride is not going anywhere because Jurassic Park is Jurassic Park. I feel like Back to the Future is at least as sort of immortal as Jurassic Park.
It's at least become that way, I would say, for sure.
Well, what do you attribute that to?
Man, I don't know. I'll say I think a lot of it. This is a great. Oh, here he doesn't interact with himself, but he gets to pass himself here. I honestly, if I really had to think about it, I think it's the timelessness of the filmmaking. Honestly, I think these movies, even though they take place in 1985, they don't feel locked in 1985. This adventure that Marty goes on feels timeless, and I think that has a lot to do with the direction. With what Zemeckis did with this, the look of the film, the feel of the film, the story points of the film. Right. They didn't tie themselves down. They made a story that does have a locked in date that's integral to the story, but the story itself is timeless and feels timeless.
I think that you're absolutely right.
The humor's timeless,
The humor, the adventure.
The adventure of it, yeah, absolutely. Again, Marty and the almanac, and this is thrilling. You know what I mean? Like, will he reach it? No, he's got a duck. He's under there. The chair slams on his hand. Like
it's always something.
It's always something. That's what I mean. That's what makes the first movie so thrilling too. Where it's just like, okay, he's got to cross this line. It's enough that you're waiting for the lightning to strike, but it's like, how many times can we thwart this simple process? We gotta have the cable falls down, so Doc's gotta get up to the top, but then it's over here, and then this thing he pulls on that, and then it comes apart over here. I mean, it's so simple, but it's so effective and relatable in a way.
Mr. Strickland with hair, just something off about that.
Something doesn't feel right. He's got a little nip alcohol there too, doesn't he?
James Tolkien. First time I ever saw him was in Masters of the Universe.
All right.
Which I just rewatched because they talked about it on the How Did This Get Made podcast.
You're right. Masters of the Universe. Ugh.
It's always just so close. So just grab it.
Yeah, it looks like it hurts. He's got that whistle around his neck. I never noticed that. Strickland. Wonder in the first one, he had a whistle around his neck at the dance. So this is really funny. So then he goes to get the almanac. Thinks he's got it. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. It's funny. I don't remember how this came up at work. Somehow at work somehow we were joking about something, and then the guy I work with was like, "Ooh la la, ooh la la." I was like, "Oh wow." I know what you're talking about. Anyway, so then you got
George that reference.
Yeah, exactly.
So I love that. Yeah, that's hilarious. It's right in the background there.
But the film again, like it's like they don't make a huge deal out of it. It's in the background,
right?
You know what I mean? That's why it's so funny. I wonder who that is. If that's the same guy, Weissman, or if that's someone else. Because actually, it looks a lot like Crispin Glover. Yeah,
well, apparently, if you see that guy, I mean, he looks. There is some resemblance there.
Yeah, and he's the guy that makes the circuits now. When you go to reunions,
right?
If you're lucky, you get Leah Thompson, and then usually you get the Goldie Wilson, and you get the guy who played George in 2 and 3. Oh, that looks like the first one there. You could tell the film quality looks a little different.
Just Biff for that one shot there.
Biff getting smacked, yeah.
But that's current.
This is current, yeah, with the Marty.
Well, but also other Marty is that's not from 5 years ago. This is from the first movie.
That looks like from the first movie. He's lifting up Leah Thompson there.
Yeah.
A little softer, the film.
And then you can tell that's new. Yeah.
This is great. Oh, this is a great character. He's only got like 2 seconds, but he's so memorable.
Right.
He took his wallet. This guy. He's so great. He's got a great face. Knocks him out.
That guy's got such a 50s face.
Yeah. Whatever that means, I know exactly what you're saying. And this is the same place they stored the DeLorean in the first movie, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Where Marty wheels it.
Where Marty pushed it there, yeah.
Yeah. Billy Zane.
It's
so weird.
Who knew that he would become like a pretty well-known guy?
I know.
On his like non-appearances in these movies, you know.
So now he accidentally. So are we supposed to think that had something to do with it, like the way that he accidentally knocked it there, shifted it to the time?
Yeah, because the time circuits are acting up. We know that 1885 has flashed a couple times.
Yeah.
And then that's basically setting us up for that, right?
Yeah. And then we got the little flags hanging off of the wheels there, which will come to save Marty's neck later.
Right. See, it's like you plant the seeds, you know?
I mean, that's something these movies are brilliant for. All the seeds that they plant that pay off.
Yeah, without calling attention to it.
Yeah. Got to get the hat. It's almost like Indiana Jones.
See, I love this because it's like it's playing on two levels where Marty of, you know, one day ago has to save himself from not blinking out of existence.
Dude, you're right. That to him, this memory is as fresh as one day old.
It's
him being
right.
on that stage.
It
Happened yesterday.
You know,
that's funny. I didn't think about that.
So now it's Marty of one day later trying to make sure that Marty of one day ago does what he has to do to keep himself from not blinking out of existence.
Yeah, there's like 2 levels at stake here.
Yeah.
Saving 85 and making sure 55 succeeds. Or making sure that he gets back so he can even have this adventure in the first place.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. If you think about it too much, your brain starts hurting.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. I think he took his wallet. The camera.
See, that guy, there's like a whole separate movie about that guy and his day.
I want to see the short film of that.
He's like the hero of his own movie, you know?
Did you see? You know, this is an interesting thing. Now that it's 2015, obviously there's a lot of buildup and excitement about this movie. There's a ton of crap happening for this movie. Like we said, like there's making the props and having all these celebrations. And one of the ones, I don't know if you saw this. Did you see the one they did the other day where it was called like The Lake? And it's Marty and Jennifer up at the lake, and Claudia Wells actually reprises her role as Jennifer.
No.
Yeah, wasn't a fan. It was kind of creepy, but okay. It's like I don't need to see Marty at the lake with Jennifer. But it's just interesting. Like they're getting all these people back to do all these sorts of.
And it's Michael J. Fox is in it.
No, it's a guy playing him, and he's sort of like obscured.
Oh, okay.
The whole time. But it's just I don't know. It's just like a whole plethora of all sorts of. If you're a fan, I mean, this is a really fun time right now. There's a million things.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
But seriously, I mean, it feels like the 25th anniversary was just a couple weeks ago.
I know.
Because you remember you and I, I came down to LA and we went and saw it for the 25th anniversary screening. And
yeah. That was like clearly a blue screen shot.
See, my kids love these movies, and you know, for them, Back to the Future is just a fact of their existence.
Right.
And you know, it doesn't even process for them that we're talking about 1985. We're talking about 30 years ago, and for them, it's just these fun movies that they love.
You know what's funny too, now that I think about it, is that 1985 doesn't feel insanely 1985. You know, it's just it really kind of can work as the present because they don't harp on the technology so much. But the 50s are so vastly different.
Right.
They were in 85 and they are now. So that discrepancy will always work. And then 2015 is so insanely fictionalized that discrepancy will always work. So in a way, I mean, aside from maybe some hairstyles or something, this movie might always feel relatable in some ways.
Well, I mean, I think the timelessness will always be, it's like 2001. The movie. I mean.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, in the sense that like we don't look at 2001 as like, oh, it's out of date. It'll always be set in the future.
Sure. Right.
In the same sense, 2015 will always be the future.
Right.
Does that make sense? You know?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. In quotes, the future.
Exactly. You know? That
was insane too. There, by the way. So you got two Martys right there. You got Marty through the window, and then they did that rack focus again. I don't know how they did that.
Chicken.
Yeah, here we go. Chicken thing back in play. By the way, so this thing coming up right here where Marty gets smacked in the face. Oh, this hurts every time I watch it. But they talked about that in the first movie too, where Marty knocks his head on the ground. And the commentaries, they said that here it is. Oh man.
Ooh.
But they said, Zemeckis and Michael J. Fox said their mantra was, pain is temporary, film is forever.
Which is true.
Yeah, which is true, but also, man, it hurts to get smacked in the head.
That's something that Peter Jackson has said too.
Oh yeah?
And you realize, well, he probably heard it from Zemeckis, like when they made The Frighteners together, you know?
Right, yeah, that's true.
Because Zemeckis produced that, didn't he?
That's true, yeah, which is great. Underrated little movie.
Yeah, nobody watched that.
Yeah.
That was probably the last like star vehicle for Michael J. Fox.
Is that so weird? He's so beloved.
Yeah.
Right? But he never found his in films. Like he had his icon, obviously this and like maybe one or two other things. Like Secret of My Success and some good 80s movies that people don't really talk about anymore. But like I don't know why that is.
It's weird because Michael J. Fox was like I always knew Michael J. Fox as a movie star.
Sure.
So like even when he was on Family Ties, it was like, oh well, he's the movie star, but he also does that TV show, you know?
Right.
That was my concept of him. But then it was weird. It's like in the early to mid '90s, his movie career just kind of ended.
Yeah. Well, he had or I guess Doc Hollywood.
Doc Hollywood. So he was filming Doc Hollywood when he was diagnosed with Parkinson's.
Right.
But even so, did people just stop wanting to see him in movies? I mean,
I have no idea, or if just maybe that's the thing that I think I realized when I got a little older and started working in the industry. It's like everybody wants to be in a good movie.
Sure.
But there aren't that many good movies.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's only so many great scripts and they go to who they go to. And, it doesn't matter if you're a good actor, you got to work. So you don't always get to be in the best movies just because there's just not enough.
Right.
So sometimes people just kind of fall by the wayside, unfortunately.
But I mean, what you said is really true, right? Michael J. Fox is a beloved figure. Like,
yeah,
nobody dislikes Michael J. Fox unless they're communists or something.
So yeah, well, he was never out of style either. You know what I mean? It was never like, well, everybody I think was always wanting him to be in stuff. It's just I don't know. That maybe there just wasn't enough.
Like he kind of stopped doing movies and then he came back to TV and he did Spin City for however many years.
Sure.
He did this dramatic movie in 1989 called Prisoners of War.
Yeah, I remember that. It was Sean Penn.
Sean Penn, yeah.
Was it Casualties of War?
Oh, sorry, Casualties of War. That's what it was. Yeah, and I remember that was a big deal just because it was like his first dramatic performance.
Yeah. This is a great intense scene here.
Oh, this works. It totally works.
And again, it's all just, cat and mouse. And look at all that flips onto the windshield and it's all just, south of being cartoonish, but it just totally works. And then you got the added element of him being on the hoverboard, which is like must have been a pain in the ass, filming this thing. But it's just all so natural. It completely works in the reality of the movie you're watching. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like him using it up against the wall in there, in the tunnel, which is coming up.
I mean, they had to probably spend a lot of time figuring out the physics of the hoverboard and how it works and what
Yeah.
That's something they had to spend some time with.
Yeah. But just this whole thing, like it just feels so like, yeah, he's floating around, he's got this thing, and then he whips out of the way. But like this is so complicated.
So you're saying the tunnel is not this long?
No, especially there's a. I mean, it's long, but it's not. There's a shot coming up where Biff whips the car around and is coming toward him, and then Marty looks and sees how far away the exit is, and that's definitely a camera trick.
Oh, okay, interesting. So there's a couple of blue screen shots, like that one right there. That's a green screen or blue screen.
Yeah, that's great though, using it off the wall right there.
He's become quite the expert on the hoverboard in like hours, basically.
Yeah, there we go, that long shot.
So that's a trick. That was you just
exaggerated a little bit with like a lens.
So
it's all slick, by the way. Oh, sorry, I was just gonna see how slick the ground is. Obviously, rain would never get in there, but that's what every movie does. Anytime you see pavement in a movie, it's always wet.
At this point, wouldn't he be better off just grabbing the hoverboard and running?
Yeah, probably.
Right?
But yeah, I was just pointing out for people who don't know. Yeah, that's a common thing on set. They'll have just a water truck, and it goes around and sprays all the ground wet because it just looks better on film that way.
Well, I guess we know where all that water during the drought is ending up.
That's why California has a drought. Yeah.
Yeah, because of the water truck.
Despite the fact that everything films in New Orleans now.
Or Vancouver.
Or Vancouver, yeah. So there you go. Good thing he had that the flags there.
That accidentally, and there's Biff's
the manure truck. It's
second
just
encounter with manure.
It's like destiny. Wherever Biff is, there be a manure truck. Which, by the way, Hot Wheels has a line of toys for cars from films. Okay. And one of them is Biff's car filled with manure.
Seriously? That's like they have a toy?
That's actually true. There's a Hot Wheel car of Biff's car filled with manure.
Who's the market for that?
I don't know. It's hilarious.
Die-hard Back to the Future fans.
Yeah. I never noticed that the wheels light up.
Yeah.
That lightning obviously is an effect too in the background. That looks pretty good.
And it's all setting. I mean, it's like we're now launching into what, basically this is all just now set up for movie 3.
Yeah. Which is interesting because if you don't know this is coming, I mean, you think this is the end of the film. We got the thing back. We're saving 1985. But I wonder if maybe that didn't feel satisfying to people if they didn't know there was going to be a third one.
I would assume if you had no idea another one was coming, that once it hit to be concluded, you would have been pissed.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. Young Brian would have been thrilled, but...
Yeah, I mean, if it's like, oh, wait, I have more Back to the Future to look forward to, that's great. But on the other end, it's like, oh, my gosh, I got to wait, 6 months or however many.
I always thought about that, the match in a windstorm. That must have been really difficult.
They must have done a few takes of that, I'm pretty sure.
Look at the board, just half off screen right there. It's
just some guy holding it.
Yeah. And you got Pleasure Palace. Becomes auto detailing. They sell those on a friend of mine, who I'll shout out, Federica. She sent me this thing on Etsy of all these props that they've made.
Wow. From
Back to the Future. People just made them for fun. And one of them is a lenticular matchbook that goes from the auto detailing to
no way.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
See, again, front page story.
Emmett Brown committed.
That's the front page news in Hill Valley.
I never thought about that. That is hilarious.
That's like bottom of page 8, bottom third,
Yeah, of section 4.
Yeah,
It's getting dangerous. A little lightning starting. So you notice that the wheels, or not the wheels, but when the car gets struck by lightning, they make like sort of a 99 or something like that.
Is
Not that I think it's on purpose, but
I just assumed it's like the car kind of
getting whipped around.
in the sky does like what it does on the ground.
Yeah. I love this too. The flags come sailing down to the ground.
And that's our signal that Doc
Like,
is
nope,
gone.
he's gone.
There's something so just bonkers about how they set up him being in the past with that guy showing up here.
I love this moment. This is great. That actor's so perfect. I can't think of his name. He's from what do you call that show? The Canadian SNL.
Oh, SCTV.
SCTV. Yeah. I can't think of his name. But anyway, he's so perfect for it. I've got something for you. A letter.
He starts laughing. We had a bet going.
Yeah.
Now, you know, see, I really like at this moment here, you get a sense of their relationship too.
Yeah. And well, the despair. I mean, you really sense the despair here. He's stuck.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
His friend is gone. Yeah. This is great. This is a great moment too. I mean, right here we got the guy in the fedora and the shat. You're like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, it's just utter confusion.
Yeah. And it's funny too because at the beginning of the movie, I can't remember at what moment, but Doc says something about, if only the mail was as reliable as whatever. Doesn't he say something like that?
Oh, does he?
I feel like he does. Maybe I'm wrong.
That sounds vaguely familiar. What you're saying?
Yeah, and then here the mail is incredibly reliable.
I've got something for you.
A letter. Great. The comedy in this movie is so unique, isn't it?
It's very understated.
Yeah, it's not broad. It's not slapsticky. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's very
Well,
unique.
I mean, they had a really delicate balancing act tonally that they had. I mean, because you have to believe the serious stuff is serious.
Yes. Good point.
You know, so you can't be bouncing off the walls and you can't have it be self-referential, which would happen today.
Yes. Yeah.
You can't have that and then have, Biff pointing his gun at Marty and
Right. And buy into the threat of it.
Right, exactly. It's kind of, I mean, Back to the Future is very similar to Ghostbusters in that sense. Because it's the same thing. Like the humor comes from the situations and the characters, but not at the expense of the situations.
Exactly. Right. Looking at these shots here, seeing those whatever you want to call it, concrete entryway to Hill Valley or
Sure.
His neighborhood. I remember on the Universal tour, you can see those, and they're just like decaying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like just on the back lot. It's kind of sad.
Nobody's taking care of them. It's like the old the Owen Lars homestead that's in Tunisia.
Yeah.
That's just falling apart.
Well, and the DeLorean for a while too was decaying and falling apart, and then they some people funded a restoration
Of the original DeLorean.
Yeah.
Because now there's like people retrofit replica DeLoreans now, like on commission.
Yeah, and there's a guy out here. I've seen him at several events, and he brings his DeLorean around, and it looks really good.
Yeah, I think they've shown that in like the special features where he's had Zemeckis and Gale have looked at it and signed off on it.
Yeah, I've been to a couple screenings of the film, and he's usually there, and he's awesome about letting you take pictures with it.
He'd better be awesome about letting you take pictures.
Well, I mean, it's like, what else? What other point is there to having it, really?
Right.
Anyway, so this is all footage from the first film, which you can kind of tell a little bit. I mean, it looks great. Don't get me wrong, but
This sequence is in all three of the movies.
yeah, you're right. Love that cable's on fire. I mean, these are the movies. There's no, especially the first one, because I'm thinking about it now. Like, there's little you have to forgive, right? Like, just all the details, all the execution, all the everything. Like, it's just so well thought out and executed. This
Well,
is just
I love
one of those few
in-
movies I'd actually call perfect. Honestly, the first one.
I love all of them.
Yeah, I do too. This is great. I mean, when you see this movie for the first time, part 2 here, so you're living the first one, and it's a moment you're so familiar with, and then you see Marty run down the street,
And he basically runs up the moment after we cut away in the first movie.
Yeah, I mean that's just. I remember that being just. You feel something crazy is happening here. It's like so off. Like it's uncomfortable. You're feeling what Doc's feeling right now.
Right.
Seeing him intrude upon this moment.
Well, because you know that the movie's ending and we've still got more story to tell.
Yeah. And then we got to be concluded here.
And this is the teaser for,
which was smart that they did this, so you didn't feel like, well, what's next?
Now, when Back to the Future 2 came out, it was hugely anticipated, and it made something like $300 million against a $40 million budget.
Wow.
So, I mean, a lot of that was just anticipation. The third one did not do as well as the second one.
Right.
And I wonder if that was just like franchise fatigue. The third one made about $100 million less worldwide than the second one did.
Wow. I wonder why that is. I mean, I wonder if those people were like, well, I'll wait till video. You know, I mean, did people just stop caring about how it would end?
Right.
And I don't know. I wonder how that happens.
I do think that these films, they ended perfectly. And
yeah,
I'm happy if we never need to see another adventure of Doc and Marty on the big screen again.
Completely agree.
You know,
completely agree. I think I remember seeing the third one in the theater and being devastated watching the car get smashed by the train.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't. It made me feel uncomfortable.
You know what? Seeing the DeLorean the DeLorean getting destroyed is sort of like Darth Vader dying.
Yeah,
because you're like, it's ending. Like this means we're ending.
Yeah, it's over.
Right. You know.
I mean, even though it's not, because there's a train, time traveling train after that. But yeah.
But it's kind of, you know, I mean, it's that same idea of like, you know, obviously we're moving towards a conclusion rather than a series of episodes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, we got 3 perfect acts, and it's not, oh, and here's Doc and Marty in Victorian London, and here's, you know, the TV show basically did that, and that's fine.
Right.
But the movies get to be this perfect little thing that they never had a chance to ruin.
Yeah, and the third movie, you know, becomes more about Doc and his love story with Mary Steenburgen's character, Claire Clayton, and it's nice because then again, out of all 3 films, you're never necessarily repeating yourself.
Yeah,
you know, they all, like you say, they feel like 3 acts.
Yeah, and you know, I think the temptation had to have been there, lo these many years, to go back, and you have to really give it up to both Zemeckis and Gale for saying, you know, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, because obviously Spielberg wrapped up the Indiana Jones series, and the siren song was too strong to go back, and it's almost like they peed in the pool.
Yeah. Yeah. And that always comes up when you talk about Indiana Jones, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the 4th one. Like you have to answer for the 4th one, you know?
Exactly. It's true. It's true. I mean, those movies were too locked into film history to be ruined. You know, sort of like The Matrix. We talk about that sometimes. Like, The Matrix has been sullied by its sequels, but like whether or not you think they're good or bad, they just have, the legacy has been sullied a little bit.
Yeah.
But Indiana Jones was already locked into place. But yeah, the 4th one always comes up in conversation, and they were wise not to do anything else with Back to the Future, I think.
Yeah, and they actually have it. Zemeckis and Gale have it in their contracts that Universal cannot do anything with that franchise without their permission.
Yeah.
For as long as they live. And per Zemeckis, after he dies too, if he has anything to say about it.
I can't see any reason you would touch these movies.
I mean, well, unfortunately, you know it's inevitable. By the way, we just saw Mark DePay. He's one of the computer animation artists there. He ended up becoming a director. He directed the movie Spawn.
Really?
Yeah. So, kind of random. But yeah, I mean, it's you know, I think as the central part of this trilogy, Back to the Future 2 gives us neither beginning nor ending, but it's a hell of a middle.
Yep. Yeah, like it fits in nicely and it doesn't feel extraneous. Like I think like I said, the older I get and the more I understand about filmmaking, I just am in awe of it as a sequel. I think it was. I don't know that you could have done a more perfect sequel.
Well, and I think that's a perfect way to wrap up this conversation about Back to the Future Part 2.
I can't believe how fast this went. I can't believe the movie's over already.
You know, and the truth is that whenever we do these commentaries, that's what I enjoy, because the movie ends up just flying right by.
Yeah.
But folks, I hope you enjoyed listening to this. This was for us literally a once in a lifetime opportunity to share the majesty of Back to the Future Day. So, on behalf of Brian, I'm Zaki Hassan. This is a movie film commentary track. Look for us online at facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast. And of course, look for our regular show in the next week. But we'll be back soon. Thanks for listening.